Hey, pigeon pose. If you've done a yin class or coming down off of a flow class, you might have run into pigeon pose. And it is one of the poses that can be a little tricky for knees to feel good in if you've got anything going on. A bit more flesh in the legs can be really tricky. So I wanted to go through a few different ways to find the alignment when you're in pigeon pose to see if you can get into the hip joint that we're working on. So a block is going to be your friend, also a bolster. So I'll show you a couple different things. Often pigeon pose, we are in a down dog. We'll lift, I'm going to do left leg, three-legged dog, and then bringing the knee forward, I'm going to use a block here, block under the left hip. All right, so coming into the mechanics of your pigeon pose here. I lean heavily to the side. I'm aware of that. So the block really helps me get back into alignment. And that's what I want. So I'm not doing myself good if I'm leaning to one side. We don't even all notice that we might be. I've got a flex in my foot, which helps my knee feel a bit better. Some people have their shin higher up on the mat or your foot tucked back. It's preference, what feels good. See if you try both and what changes in your sensation. So once you've arrived here, a couple things you can do. If you're feeling sensation here, then soften into the shoulders and find your breath and breathe into your pigeon pose. If you feel that you can lean forward and sink in here, having a block or a bolster to rest your head on or stacked fists can be a really beautiful way to ground in and notice any issues in the joints. Is everything feeling okay? Sending your breath where they can soften. The glutes love to kick in here. So this can be a version of your half pigeon. Coming up is pressing your body up and away. And often it's tucking the back toe, coming into a down dog. So another option we can do is three-legged dog, coming forward. And let's set up for deer pose. So deer pose has the same mechanics here. We're doing a pinwheel shape of the legs. So my back knee is about 90 degrees. My front knee is 90 degrees, flexing into both feet. My hips are kind of to the side. So I'm going to see if I can coax them a little forward. And when you do that, you might feel a little twinge into the back glute or the back hip, depending on if you're gripping. See if you can soften there. We don't want Charlie horses, not a nice place to have a Charlie horse. So just be aware, let the breath flow through the body, sense in what are we feeling. So if this feels good and you're feeling some sensation, we're working into the hips, into the adductors. If you're feeling sensation, then stay here and breathe. If you would like to bring this into folding forward, you can take the same support, resting your head, your forehead onto stacked fists, a block, a bolster. And again, breathing through and seeing where we're gripping into our muscles. A lot of times our glutes love to tense up, thinking they're helping. Can we soften there? Those are some ways to get into those spaces. But if either of those is like, okay, well, I'm in the shape, but I'm not feeling a lot into the hips, or it still feels a little twingy into the knee. So you can do the same mechanics, taking it onto your back. And I love to offer this for people that the knees really speak loud. Sometimes it just does not work in the body. So position yourself. If you have a wall, that can be really nice. It doesn't have to be on a wall. But if you're in your room, if you're in a studio and you can get over to the wall, I have my right foot up on the wall and I've got my left foot crossing over, knee pressing knee away from body, flexing the foot. And right here, I already am feeling some opening into the hip here. So we're going to just play with how much sensation feels good here. So if you're getting sensation here, maybe even a hand gently pressing the knee away. Again, as long as there's no pain, right? Your right foot up against the wall can kind of gas pedal. You want to play, it kind of takes the knee a little closer to the chest and back. You can play with that. Or you can hug all the way into chest, still keeping the knee pressing away from the body. So this is more parallel. Or you can reach through to the right thigh, shoelace through and hug in. So these are the exact same mechanics. If you can visualize this flipped, we're doing the same as the pigeon pose upright. So see if that gets into those spaces for you. And I hope that gave you a bit of empowerment in your practice of pigeon, of deer, getting into those hip spaces. I would love to know what you found that works for you. I'm always learning and growing as well. So I'd love to hear what works and if this helped at all.